All right, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Anything Goes podcast. You're joined here by your four lovely hosts. You've got myself, Eli. We've got Sean.
What's good?
And we've got Aiden.
I'm back.
And we have Ronnie.
So it dawned on me today when I was going to Carl's Jr. to pick up food. I was sitting in my car, and I immediately
into a story.
No, this is true. I got off work and everything. This happened, and I had an epiphany. I thought to myself, if you're like in a homosexual relationship and you adopted like a child, how do you refer to yourself? Like, because now you're both dad, and what's gonna happen is the kid's gonna come in and say, "Hey, Dad," and you're both gonna respond. So like, what do you think they do?
They do exactly that.
Yeah, they just
go
hold
by
you
dad. I don't see the
Do you think one's name is like Dad and the other one's like Dado?
No, it's just
no,
where
but
he's
I
looking
would
at.
like
It's
to be
pretty
called
obvious.
Dado.
But what if,
Yeah.
if neither of you are looking at him, and you just hear him walk in and say "Dad"?
You turn around, see who he's looking at, and then respond.
But it seems annoying.
Or you respond, and if you're the wrong one, then you just defer to the other.
It seems annoying though, especially for the kid, because if he wants to just get one's attention, and he just wants one of the dads.
A little punk.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure they'll have a way. I mean, if the kid's able to walk into the room and say, "Hey, Dad," and they're both able to respond, I'm pretty sure that's an issue that they would have resolved in the kid's young age.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think they do?
It doesn't even seem.
The kid
doesn't
would
even
probably
seem
grow
like an
into
issue.
saying, yeah, I don't see it as an issue, Ronnie.
It's not an issue, but it definitely seems like one of those things where it's like, oh well.
You
Like-
just have to take an extra second to clarify.
Yeah, that seems like it would get
Really not.
annoying after a while.
Straight privilege right there.
I don't think so. But
Seems like it would get annoying. It'd be like, do you think they just don't even?
You just have two dads.
All right, well, what a way to start the podcast. I don't know where this came from or
Yeah.
anything like that, but
I told you I wanted to ask a
Anyway,
question in the beginning. That's where it came from.
yeah,
That was my question.
We had
and
no
you
idea
answered
what
it.
the question
Thank
was,
you.
and this is what it was. Like, okay. Anyway, how's everyone doing? How's everyone's week been
Shitty.
so far? Pretty shitty?
Yeah, as usual.
Got him. What about you, Sean?
it's been okay.
Ronnie?
I don't
How
care
about you?
anymore.
Because your story was asked?
He's just
Your question was
disappointed because he's two dads instead of Dado and Dad or some shit.
Dude, I think being called Dado would be cool.
I
There.
bet that
All
a
right.
lot of times there are nicknames for that
Yeah,
kind
they
of
probably have
situation.
nicknames or whatever, so... Yeah, I'm actually super proud of us. We're recording this actually, a week after we recorded our last
Exactly
episode.
1 week.
And also recording this after the upload of the last episode. So we're working on it, guys. We're getting that consistency and that we need. So.
Consistency.
Yeah,
It's
all
here.
you two viewers were getting there. Don't worry.
Oh, I love them. I love you too.
Literally just Rowan and some other dude from Milwaukee.
Some other
Yeah,
dude
dude,
from
there's
Milwaukee.
more viewers than that.
They're all like,
I checked analytics and they are from Milwaukee. No, I'm just kidding.
There's like 16 different viewers.
yeah, they're all from his
including
Twitter.
us.
They're all from Eli's Twitter.
Well,
bunch of-
thank you.
Bunch of-
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, there is
shout
to
out my
me.
Twitter
dude.
then. Thanks,
I don't
me.
care about them.
Shut up. What
They
do
never-
you care about? Nothing. Get out of here.
I care about my dog, but he's gonna die soon, so.
Stop.
So I guess
I've had it with the depression. It's over.
But the
Get him
depression
outta
was
here.
the depression was years ago, Sean.
No, I'm done with it.
You've been in this. Okay, Ronnie, do you want to talk about what's going on? Is there anything you want to talk about?
All right, so guys, the topic of this podcast today is like our favorite things from 2019. So let's get into it.
Oh, we're off to a thundering start here.
You're such a bummer.
Thundering. It's like lightning. So anyway, yeah, I guess we'll jump straight into it then. Top things from 2019. Be it you played something in 2019 that just like stood out to you, was brand new, your favorite game. What's everyone's tops here?
What we
Figured
should
we
probably
just
Yeah.
go around
said-
to each person,
Yeah,
start
we
with
can
their
go
favorite
around
game.
and we'll go in alphabetical order. And
Fuck.
yeah.
So I'm
So
first.
we're going alphabetical order. Say
No,
what your
Eli's
favorite
first.
game is. No, Aiden would be first.
What?
A.
Are you stupid?
A comes before E. Yes, I know that's
I thought you
hard for
spelled
to
that with an
understand.
S.
Okay, he's just
Liter-
trolling.
Yeah,
Move
I'm
along.
gonna, go ahead, Aiden.
All right, let's think. So it's
Give us a favorite game. We'll do favorite game
video
and
game
favorite
of 2019
movie.
and favorite movie, not at the same time. I can't do that at the same time.
We'll give
That's
him a
too
loop
much.
around. So you'll do your first one. We'll loop around and then get back to you, and you'll do it again.
Okay, fine. I'll hold that. I say easily my favorite movie of the year was Godzilla King of the Monsters. I'll just start with the movie. Because I'm a Godzilla fan, and it was basically pure fan service for people who liked Godzilla growing up and all the old movies and stuff. So right down to like the really stupid sci-fi plot is like straight out of those movies, the Toho era movies in particular. So that was really cool. And seeing these beautifully CGI'd rendered creatures that, you know, as a kid, you always kind of like see as heroes rendered, you know, finally on the big American screen was properly was amazing. The music was all there. They used classic tracks from the old Godzilla movies like Mothra's theme and Godzilla's theme. It was beautifully shot. It's not a perfect movie by any means. It's basically a big budget B movie that's not exactly the best paced or acted. But despite all of that, seeing shit like Mothra fly down from the clouds or Godzilla go nuclear or King Ghidorah just fuck everything up by just walking around. That sort of like godly aspect they really played up with how they framed the shots, the colors used, sort of even imitating like classical art in some scenes, which was intentional. Definitely makes it my top movie of the year.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
Very I get it. It's very nostalgia
It's very
driven, right?
nostalgic. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it was the best movie, but it was my favorite.
It was probably visually my favorite movie of the year.
Visually
Hey,
spectacular.
that's all that matters, man. So long as it was your, that's what this segment is about. Your
Exactly.
favorite.
So that
Not-
is
Right.
certainly my favorite movie. Close. The second close would be, for all the nerds out there, or even more nerd, I guess. One Piece Stampede came out this year, and that was basically the same thing. It was just Avengers Endgame, but One Piece characters. So almost every single character from the series who is important appeared in that movie, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
All right, well,
Fun
going in
fact about
alphabet.
Godzilla, Aiden.
What?
The guy who composed the music for that particular film also
Bear Mc-
composed the music for a podcast favorite game, Dark Void.
Really? What the?
Yes.
Really?
He composed
Same
God
guy.
of War, dude.
Mhm.
So, wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was real. That was a deep cut.
It's a nice
That's
little
a
fact
deep
right there.
cut to
Nice
Dark
little
Void.
factoid.
Damn.
Yes.
I highly recommend Dark Void.
One day I'll tell that story.
Who is the king of the monster?
Godzilla, free.
Okay.
Godzilla.
Okay, it's not free, actually. King Ghidorah kind of whooped his ass.
Yeah, you did.
I haven't seen
You
it.
had to cheat.
Well,
Yeah, I
Godzilla
never
had to
got. I
cheat
didn't
to
get to
win.
see it
you guys,
personally.
if
So
you guys haven't seen it, if you're watching, including all these other members of the podcast who haven't watched it, I highly recommend it.
I'm broke.
But I would rent it. I'm not sure if I would buy it
Yeah.
on Blu-ray. I'd probably rent it, and honestly, you could skip some scenes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can, if the plot just isn't like fun, you can just skip to the cool fights.
I'm told the
Fucking
plot
power
So
isn't
play.
here's
fun.
my question. I have a question about it because I had an issue with this with the 2015 movie. And because you guys say skip through it if the plot isn't that great, my problem was with the 2015 movie was that it was more plot and less of the action of getting to actually watch the monsters
There's
fight.
a lot more
Did
There's a
action.
lot
they
of
fix
monsters.
that this time?
There
Did
are
they
a
swap it out
lot
and
of
actually give you... Because there was a lot of, in the 2015 movie, a lot of cutting, like right when you see like something getting ready to happen or a fight, a lot of the fights would just be in the background and it focused mainly on the humans that were doing whatever the hell they were doing.
It's sort of a
So that's my gripe, and I'm hoping that
This
I'm
movie-
asking you guys if it's the same in this one.
it's shot well in the sense that the 2014 one was. So like you'll be focusing on the humans to some degree, or like you'll see a human in the shot, but you'll also see the monsters, and they do that so you see how big the monsters are. but they're also not
Scale
afraid
comparison.
to let the monsters take up the screen and just let it rip with like crazy destruction. So it's,
Okay, good.
yeah, they show a lot more action.
Absolutely.
And
Is
going in
this,
alphabetical order,
Is this
it's
the?
Eli's turn.
Oh.
So, well, what is your question?
Oh no,
it's
no.
all right.
What
It's
were you
all
gonna
right.
say, Ronnie?
It was a dumb question. Go, Eli, your turn.
Oh, well, if we're starting with movies, then I'm gonna have to say my favorite movie of 2019. I didn't watch too many movies this year, but I would say probably Endgame. That was this year, wasn't it? Yeah, dude, this year has been a long one. If
It's
you
a
realize,
long
yeah, it's been a long year.
Endgame feels like a lifetime ago.
It does,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I feel like it was last year, but no, that was this year. Definitely Endgame for me. Not really because of like Aiden said, not really because of like it was just the best, but because I felt like there was so much riding on it, and I got so excited for it. And you know, after watching all of the movies, and again, this is something that I've been like we've been watching these Marvel movies since we were kids. We've now grown up with them, from Iron Man 1 all the way up to, you know, Endgame and all the movies that are still yet to come out, that are going to be coming out. And visually, that movie was gorgeous. It was beautiful in a lot of the scenes. The final battle, like the war scene, everyone coming out of those like portals and everything. The movie was visually stunning, like immaculate. I don't think there was ever a flaw as far as visuals go with that movie. But then again, Marvel Studios does a really good job in that department in general. They are top notch with it. And yeah, it was just so much riding on it, and so many people, and like waiting. They had that emotional connection, and for it to come to that proper end, that proper close, before starting up with everyone else's individuals again and everything. Yeah, it was something I was really interested in. That, and also John Wick 3 came out this year too, so that was also great. But
I forgot about
mean,
that.
if you that's
That was
just an adrenaline
2019?
pumping, big chested, hairy man, get some hair on your ball sack movie right there. So
How many
you gotta
fucking
like John
times
Wick.
can you
Yeah.
shoot someone in the head, dude?
Yeah, so those are definitely for me, those two.
I think, interestingly, those movies have the opposite problem of each other, which is that Endgame starts off like really boring, and it's like really slow going, and then the second half it really picks up, and you get excited because it finally builds up into what you were waiting for. Whereas John Wick 3 starts off amazing with an incredible fight, super creative. He's like
And then a
using
burnout.
horses to kill people and stuff, and then after that it just kind of starts just being just endless gunfights. So,
Yeah,
I
really
disagree.
Like John Wick 3. I think I disagree too.
I disagree with
Respectfully.
Endgame. I think the beginning part was really interesting, and I think the second half was really boring because it focuses way too much on the time travel, which I thought was idiotic. And
that aspect, yeah. was
the
bougie.
final like the third act is amazing, and it's nothing but pure like awesome action with like a lot of fan service and love pulled into it. It's just
I felt
only the time
emotional.
travel that I actually the time travel is the only part that I don't like about that movie.
I like the time travel a lot personally, just because I've seen all those movies, so it was fun to see them interact with their old selves again.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
why it
You
works
say
for
the
it
beginning
works
was
for you because
interesting.
of that. I don't watch the Marvel movies that often. I've only seen like a handful of the Marvel movies, so as someone who's only seen the Avenger games, it just doesn't really appeal to me.
Sure. The other thing really is just the interesting part of the beginning is like 10 minutes. It's not even that long, and then it just kind of gets boring.
No, I like watching the characters talk and interact with each other throughout that entire part. I really like that.
It
And
was interesting when they were like actually down in the dumps, but once they're like testing out their technology and like trying to find the next step, that's
Kinda
when it got
dragged a
boring to
little
me.
bit. It does drag
Yeah.
a tiny.
And there's like a bunch of reunions when there wasn't even like a whole movie in between where they hadn't seen each other. It's just like
I feel like Infinity War was a better paced movie,
I
Oh, yeah,
agree.
definitely agreed.
but Endgame
Yes.
definitely.
But that wasn't of 2019, so
Well, yeah,
and I
it's
didn't
Eli's
watch it
favorite.
in 2019, so
it definitely hit me in the stomach. When he's like, "I am Iron Man."
Right.
That was powerful.
Absolutely.
It was, and it did carry that heavy emotional weight, and that's why I say, like, we had so much invested in the series, so when it comes up to that moment and we get to see the man who started it all end it all, that kind of like, really pulls at you and is able to get a proper reaction, especially if you have actually seen the beginning, seen how it started all the way up to this point. I'm kind of in agreement with both of you, Sean and Ronnie, but then I also disagree, and it's kind of weird because I feel like this is a movie that you break up into 3 parts, and
every movie
that
you
beginning, do. What was that?
Every movie you do.
Oh, yeah.
Every movie has 3 acts.
This one, its first portion, while it's all down in the dumps and everything is negative, I didn't feel a very heavy emotional attachment to it because I feel like I already lost that.
Yeah, you kind of already...
After Infinity War.
Yeah.
Infinity War gave it to me immediately, and I already knew it. So I was just like, okay.
Let's just get the show on the road.
Right. Like, I was like, all right, get everyone back now. Because I already know it's going to happen. I already know people are gone. And it didn't bother me. What did seeing Clint or Hawkeye disappear, or seeing Hawkeye disappear, right? His daughter.
Yeah, and his wife.
His entire family disappeared. That did get me, that segment. But other than that, the majority of that beginning part didn't really convey to me to the best. But then in the middle part, when they're testing like the technology and everything like that, that was like a really big just... But in the meantime, while they're meeting with themselves from different portions of the movies, it's in short bursts. It was like very positive for me. So it's like I overall give it a nah, it wasn't that good. But those scenes in between did do really well. But then that final scene, that was just the best. That was the kickoff. And again, with John Wick, like you said, it was a reversal kind of deal. Beginning was the best part, and then when it just burned out into continuous gunplay, and that was kind of like the scene with Halle Berry and the dogs, that lasted way too long for me.
I agree with that.
I did, but that lasted way too long.
Halle Berry's just not that. She did an okay job, but she just doesn't have the same physicality that Keanu Reeves has. That makes it fun to watch for me. But I think that towards the end of John Wick 3, it really picks up again when the guys have like the armor. And he's going out of his way to try and shoot through the helmets, and then he has like a 10-minute fist fight with 2 of the best action choreographers ever.
The concierge is like walking back in the room, and he's like, "Need more ammo."
Yeah, when John Wick comes back, and he's like, "Armor's quote okay" or whatever, and he's all pissed off. I think the whole ending sequence in the hotel was awesome, personally.
It definitely had its moments.
Yeah, again, it's much like Endgame in the middle. It had its moments, but overall, I wasn't too impressed.
I think I just get like tired of it if it goes on for too long. It feels like it reaches a peak, but then it just keeps going and going and going. I'm like, okay, someone win the fight already.
Rise of Skywalker.
Is that your favorite movie?
Not even in terms of like a whole movie, but just an individual like fight scene. After a certain point, I'm like, you can only do so much of this.
A lot of movies are like that nowadays, where they're just too long. They're like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and you look at it and you're like, did it really have to be 2 hours and 30 minutes?
How long
could have accomplished it all in about an hour and a half?
And Godzilla really suffers from that.
How long was it?
It's like 2 hours long, I think.
Yeah, it's solidly long.
I don't know. That's very common.
Well, Ronnie, what's on your your list?
My list of what?
Your movie.
Oh, my movie one. That would have to be Promare, easily. Promare was like...
Oh, yeah.
Promare was not only my favorite movie of this year, but it was my favorite movie experience ever. I don't think I've ever been in a movie where I've done nothing but just smile at the screen the entire time. It was like, remember how I always tell you guys that I hate going to movies because I hate listening to people just like cheer like a bunch of raging monkeys over because Iron Man did the cool thing, and I'm like, you guys are ruining this for me. But I became that raging monkey during this movie. It turned me into that. That's how much I like this movie.
I'm so salty that you said that, because I am that guy who's like, yeah.
Yeah, I know, and you'll annoy me during the movie theater.
As long as everyone else is doing it.
That's what I'm saying. But no, I really liked Promare a lot. I liked it way more than I thought I would. I knew going in that I was going to like it, because it's made by Studio Trigger. And I was told that it's just a Studio Trigger. It's if Studio Trigger made a movie. And I'm like, that's what I wanted when I went in. And that's exactly what I got. I got all the Studio Trigger, like, everything that's fun about Studio Trigger was in this movie. And they do a lot of, the animation's really good. I like the animation a lot. There's so much to this movie. I just want to show you guys this movie. That's all I really want to do.
To clarify, none of us have seen it him.
Except for me and our other friend, because we both went and saw this movie together. And we only went because there's only like a limited time showing. Unfortunately, I missed the what's it called? They did a redux for it where they re-released it like on December, and I missed that, and it makes me sad because I'll never be able to see this movie on the big screen again, because this movie was just such an experience on the big screen.
Yeah, they did. I honestly might have missed it, but did you say they did? Didn't they do like the didn't they re-premiere it? Do a second premiere for it?
Yes, they did a re-release onto the theaters, and they like added in like. I don't know how long it is, but they added in an epilogue to it. So
how many was that? Only a couple days after
it was only 1 day, like a month, like so not even a month, like right 3 months after the movie released, they re-released it for 1 day.
Did you go and see that one?
I said no, Eli.
Oh, well, see, that's what I was asking, man. That's why I said I might have missed it.
See what I was talking about, guys? No one listens to me anymore.
I was listening. It's just that I missed.
But no,
being asked if I wanted food.
The movie is actually like a lot of fun. I probably will never have as much fun as I had during that movie. There's just a lot of there's a lot of corniness in it. I already told you that there's that scene where like it just has fun with itself. There's that one scene where the good guys, like, they fall after they get beaten by the bad guy. They fall down into this lake, and then this dude shows up out of nowhere in the lake, and he gifts them a giant mech to like fight back the dude, and the mech is called Deus Ex Machina because they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know,
and it's so much fun because they just do that. There's a whole thing where like the main character just tries to keep coming up with dumber and dumber names for his like attacks each time, and everyone just keeps laughing at him about how stupid they are. And it's got everything. It's got everything that I want. Like it was everything that I wanted. There's a lot of fanfare in there. It's just, if you're a fan of Studio Trigger, then you owe it to yourself to watch this movie in some way because it is so much fun.
And for those that don't know who Studio Trigger is, can you give them
an
example?
They are the people that made such classics like Kill la Kill, or as I like to call, Tits v Tits. And they've made Kill la Kill. They've made some other ones that I'm having a real... I was going to say Gurren Lagann, but they didn't. Their studio wasn't... It's made by the same people, but their studio wasn't the one that did it. I forget what studio did that one. But they did that. They also helped out with Darling in the Franxx. That's a good one for like the first season, but then the second season for the first part, but then the second part can suck my gonad. They also just revealed their newest project, which is called I forget what it's called, but it has something to do with like animal people. Forget what it's called. I'm gonna have to look that up later.
Furries.
Yeah, basically they're furries. They didn't subtitle it, so I had no idea what was going on. But from what I can tell, it looks like it's about people who are getting transformed into furries. It's really weird. I don't know, but it looks good. So, but they've done like a lot of stuff like that. And they also did what's it called, Aiden? Inferno Cop?
Yes.
Lovely, beautiful Inferno Cop, which just looks like an MS Paint. Like,
because that's what it is.
Because it's an MS Paint
it's
show.
Literally like a shitty Flash.
It's a crappy Flash comic where they like use Photoshop to grab the characters to move them to make them seem like that they're talking. They've done like a bunch of stuff. They're well known for their like very like high octane action and
Fever Dream storylines that make no
Fever
sense.
Dream.
I'm gonna be honest.
They make
Kill a Kill is literally a 110 degree fever dream.
They make sense with quotation marks.
No, it's a 110 degree fever wet dream. That's what
This
Kill
is
a
true.
Kill is.
This is true. There's so
It
many
is bizarre.
There's so many funny things. It is so bizarre. There's that one. I will always love this from Kill la Kill. There's a scene from Kill la Kill where the main character's like suit like gets ripped up and she has to go and like get the pieces back. And we all know the song "Don't Lose Your Way." We all know that song. There's a funny like gag going on with Kill la Kill in that during that whole part is that she'll like show up out of nowhere. Like there'll be a bunch of dudes who like have like a piece of her like clothes, and she'll show up out of nowhere. She'll she'll just say like she'll run them over with a motorcycle, and it'll play "Don't Lose Your Way" for like 5 seconds, and then she leaves, and it immediately cuts the song, like every single time.
You know, I wanted to, now that we've talked sort of ad nauseum about Studio Trigger, there's something you mentioned I quickly wanted to address, or feels worth pointing out, which is like the cinema experience is really important, I think. Like where you see a movie or like how the people around you are reacting to it can really affect your enjoyment of a movie. So like when I saw Godzilla, I saw it in IMAX on opening night, so there were people cheering or whatever. Or like when I saw the One Piece movie, they were like, in this box is you know, whatever, how you get there. And like the theater, you could feel everyone's like, you know, gasping like, oh my God. And I think that you having a really good experience with Promare is like, I think that's a really good thing, you know, when that happens. And I think Eli probably had a similar experience with like Endgame, you know, where you could feel the like everyone sort of feeling that or cheering when you're supposed to cheer kind of situation can really energize how you feel about a movie.
Yeah, but at the same time, it also really like annoys me because when I watch Endgame,
you're an autistic goof.
No, but when I watch Endgame, I have this problem. Every time I go into a movie theater, I always get stuck with the retards sitting around me.
Oh, what is that supposed to mean, huh?
I always get stuck with the retards sitting around me. Sorry, Aiden. And
wow.
But no, I'm not like they'll scream during like scenes and they'll start clapping even though it's supposed to be a quiet scene that you're supposed to take seriously.
Okay, well that shit's
that's what I'm saying. I get the crappy audience. When I was watching the Dragon Ball Z movie, the Dragon Ball Z Broly movie, every single time a transformation happened, people would just start clapping and cheering and going crazy. And I'm like, guys, you've seen this like 1,000 times. That's the point where like if people start cheering when something cool happens, like I'm fine with that. But like when they start like cheering because like it's a movie, it's a fan movie, I can do it. That's when I'm like, no, please sit down.
Like if people cheered when something big happened.
When people cheered during the Tony Stark scene. Actually, my movie theater didn't cheer. It was completely quiet because it was like such a respectable scene.
Very emotional
but
moment.
I definitely have seen like footage of people who do cheer, and I think that's perfectly fine with cheering during that scene because it is an epic scene. But like, there's also like it's just there's moments where you need to be quiet for this scene, and I've just dealt with too many people in movie theaters that don't know how to do that.
Yeah, the Tony Stark thing for me was in my theater was a very quiet one. It was a heavy, heartfelt,
which I think is
like in awe and quiet. Like no one was up cheering and
because there's so many emotions that go into that scene
with it, and then after that it immediately went quiet. So
I think that the quiet's the best way to experience that scene because there's just so many things that you're feeling exactly when that happens.
Right.
Because you're like, oh my God, he did it, but at the same time you're like, oh no,
he did it.
He did it. Like it's really sad, depressing, but still like it's like heck yeah, Tony, my boy Tony, and like you're also really happy because it's like Tony.
Victory?
Yeah, well that not only that, but it was Tony that did it.
Yeah, he redeemed him.
He redeemed himself
in
a way.
He redeemed himself.
Yeah, and it's just really nice. Okay, I think I've talked enough. Now it's Sean's turn.
Yeah, what's up, Sean? What you got?
What's good, dude? My movie, the film that I enjoyed is a bit of a underappreciated film in my opinion. It's called Cold Pursuit, which is It's basically kind of like Taken. It's a Liam Neeson movie,
okay.
but the whole thing is like half serious, half parody, where they're just making a ton of fun of a lot of the like genre tropes throughout those kinds of revenge movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like a specific joke throughout the whole thing is all of the villains have an evil code name, and they're all just like absolutely ridiculous. And then every time one of them dies, it has to like play, like it cuts to black and it has this fancy writing where it says like RIP and then their code name. It's just all these like
It was
weird
like
little
rest
goofy
in
touches
peace,
like that.
Scarface, like
Yeah, it'll be like rest in peace, the janitor or something like that.
the mole.
So it's like a black comedy.
Yeah, it's a black comedy, but I mean, there's some legitimately good like emotional and dramatic stuff. Liam Neeson's good at that kind of thing, and the action is a lot of fun.
Liam Neeson's a good actor overall, and it's a shame because I haven't even heard of this. So this is the first
I've never
I've
heard of this either.
See, I
Well,
haven't
it's the
heard about
first
it
I've heard
either,
of it.
really. But I was just like browsing, I think it was HBO, and I was just really bored, and I saw it, and I thought, oh, that seems kind of interesting, and I watched it, and it ended up being really good.
Did it come out this year? Is that
It came out in 2019.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Early 2019.
wow?
I mean, it made its budget back, but it wasn't like a huge
Nothing
success.
major.
Yeah.
God, this
Was there
year has
any
been so
scene in
long.
particular that like really stood out to you that you'd like to? Because none of us have seen it. Was there anything that like to you was like, yeah, that scene was really great, or like I don't know, maybe made you laugh or something?
Okay, there is one scene where it's like, okay, so like the main villain, he's like this like rich dude, and he has this kid throughout the whole thing who's like totally just like oblivious to what's going on.
Okay.
And at some point, Liam Neeson kidnaps the kid to like get to the main villain.
Yeah.
And so of course the villain, he gets really pissed about it, but he's not mad because he took his son. He's mad that he took his son and then didn't leave like a ransom note because it was against the rules.
Who kidnaps
so he's, like,
someone and
randomly
doesn't
just,
leave
like,
a
pissed.
ransom letter?
Yeah, he's getting super mad. He's like, there's a process to this thing. When you take someone's kid, you leave a note.
Okay, that puts into perspective the comedy for me. That really puts it
Yeah.
into perspective right there.
It's like very self-aware.
Yeah.
I'd put it, I'd say it's similar to Scream in that regard, where it's very aware of the genre it's
Very
in.
tropey.
And all, yeah. But it's still like also trying to be a good like movie in that genre at the same time.
It sounds kind of like what Ronnie was just describing with Promare a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe self-aware, but I mean, was it still a good action movie?
Yeah, absolutely. The action is still a lot of fun.
So it sort of
It is.
manages to walk the line of pure satire and genre film.
Yeah, I would say so, yes. It's just a very fun movie.
Well, that's good.
I think it's absolutely worth the watch for anyone who's just like bored, don't got a lot going on. Pop it in for like an hour and a half. It's not very long.
definitely
Yeah, it's
check
only
it
2
out.
hours. I'm looking at it right now on the Wikipedia page. It's not even 2 hours.
It's
Yeah, it's
That's
just a
epic.
solid-
I'm saying that's epic. There's not enough movies that are only like that aren't like the 2 hour mark.
And you know what's ironic about that? About the 2 hour thing. This is random, I'm sorry, but it's ironic to me that John Wick started out as a like short and sweet movie that did that, but the third movie was like over 2 hours long too.
yeah.
Right.
Just
Because
jump.
like as it becomes a commercial success, it just gets long. Movies just get longer and longer.
Yeah, it's true.
Like the original
TikTok,
Transformers,
Mr. Week.
wasn't it like that, right?
TikTok. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the first one was like a couple hours, like kind of on the longer side, but not too
I
much.
think the
But then the
second
second
one
one
was-
is like almost 3 hours, and then the third one is the same thing.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours. It went from like probably 2 hours and 10 minutes to like
Yeah, something like that.
3 hour movies.
I'm pretty sure Revenge of the Fallen is 2 hours 40 minutes.
Oh my god!
For some reason, that number just sticks in my mind.
Yeah, because you suffered through all 2 hours and 40 minutes of it.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm pretty sure the third one it's 2 hours and 30 minutes.
really quick,
God.
let's do a we'll do two speed rounds. We'll do our games as a speed round, and I I just want to say, let's do a. What do you think was the biggest flop
Third one's
movie?
even longer.
Bro, whoa. Game is a speed round?
Yeah,
I got
we'll
a
give-
45-minute
not game.
presentation
Sorry,
about my game, bro.
We'll do.
we got time.
we got time. We got
I
tons
think
of
we
time.
got time
tons
to
of
talk
time.
more in depth with games.
but
Maybe
let's do
not
a speed
as
round,
long,
Eli.
but like.
Oh yeah. Well, let's get it. Who's got? Oh yeah, Aiden. Aiden, you're on
Do
the
we
start.
want to go
so-
just backwards now?
Or we
Guys,
yeah
go
we can go
backwards.
backwards. Yeah.
Let's just go around the horn. So I'll go again.
So what is it this time? Favorite?
Game.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna do set the stage for gaming.
Yes, and then we'll probably switch topic after that since it's getting kind of long. But yeah, so my game of 2019 was very surprising to me because I really didn't expect to like it. But it's the Link's Awakening remake for Nintendo Switch, which I remember when I saw it when they announced it. I think at E3 the previous year, I was like, Link's Awakening, it's not the best game, and I wasn't sure I liked the graphical style, but when I actually played it, the upgrade to the presentation makes such a huge difference just to being able to like know where to go and what's happening, including things like just the map. If you look at the map on the Game Boy Color, it's like a mess. So having clean visuals makes a huge difference. And then things like the music, unlike other remakes, they actually made significant improvements to it. Like each dungeon, it's still the same overall theme, but it's adjusted for each dungeon individually to fit the theme and like atmosphere of it.
Properly remastered.
Right. And then they also added cool things like there's a fast travel sort of system to get around the map easier. It's just a lot of fun. It's just a really clean, simple game. Like nothing out of place, nothing too much, not too long, too short. Just a solid, really good game.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I kind of expected this from you. Like this was the title I expected you to bring up. To be honest, so
I did not.
I did. I mean,
And
I
the thing
remember when he
is-
was playing it. I mean, Sean was like, I don't know, like he beat it in like a few days.
I beat it, I think, in like a week,
yeah, like it was
maybe.
like a week and.
But it was like I played it not like it came out. I played it like once the day it came out, and then I didn't play it for a little while, and then I played it a whole bunch in like 3 days and beat it. Yeah. And the thing, like 2019, just for me, like it was a really good year for gaming overall. Just for me personally, there wasn't that much. There was only really like a couple games that I was super excited for, and one of them was supremely disappointing, and the other one was good, but
Which one was disappointing?
I think we know the answer to that.
unfortunately, it was Sword and Shield.
Ooh.
Yeah, just look at
I'm
the
afraid.
thumbnail and check out the art. I think you could guess.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Reverse alphabetical.
yeah. So, Ronnie.
DMC5.
Holy
Good
base.
choice. Good choice. Good
DMC5
choice.
is easily my favorite on the list. I'm already like a big fan of the Devil May Cry series. I'm not good at the games, but I'm definitely a fan of them. I love them a lot. I played through all of them before I played this one again, and by God, does this game know how to? This game knows that it's DMC, and that's what's great about it. Is because after the flop that was DMC, a lot of people were worried about it, but by God, they deliver. This is like easily the best like fan service game I've played in a while. Like it's so good. It's so good. Like Rise of Skywalker, everyone froths at the mouth over the fan service in that, but this is real fan service. I mean, everything that you wanted to see in Devil May Cry gets shown in this game. Like from the story, the gameplay is top notch and like the best that it's ever been, and it's just fun. It's just all around just stylish fun.
Yeah, we were actually just watching. Right prior to recording, actually, we were watching Aiden play a little bit of DMC5. Our local DMC master,
Our combo fiend.
the combo fiend. I'm surprised, actually. I felt like Aiden might have had something to throw in on this.
Did
My lips are sealed.
did I steal your pick?
Sealed. I expected Aiden to have like the biggest input on it, given that it's Devil May Cry. But yeah,
My lips are
that's,
sealed.
That's a really good one, dude.
We'll wait till it gets around
Yeah.
to Aiden and see what he has to say.
Yeah, that was a good one, Ronnie.
Solid
As
pick.
far as for myself goes, I gotta say it's difficult this year for me because this year and middle of last year I entered a slump of buying games and not playing them, not touching them, and as we all know with Sekiro, I'm still like haven't even played to this day. Still haven't really played it. But I gotta say, probably my favorite game of this year is probably Dark Souls 1, because we've gone back and in our group we've been doing this thing where we're just like playing the Dark Souls games or the Souls series, Souls-like games, and playing Dark Souls 1 after all these years kind of like rekindled, no pun intended, a flame in me that was just like, man, this game is like, it was so good and so good for its time, and right. it that still carries with me. But if I have to choose a game from 2019, I'd say Apex Legends, because that game has been giving me, I've had a lot of fun with it when we get together and we play it. That also, again, doesn't seem like it came out this year. It feels like it's been out.
Right. Like when you said that, I was like, wait
last
a minute.
year, sorry, 'cause it's 2020 now. But
right.
That's another game I feel like came out in 2018, but it came out 2019. And
2019.
when it did, I just, when it initially came out, I remember having so much fun because it felt like we were playing back in the day on like Xbox 360 and random party chats with like the people we'd get into, and it was just so nostalgic. Random people, just where we dropping boys, blah 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 blah. You know, and it gave me a positive vibe. Doing the deal with Ronnie, I did a deal with Ronnie, whereas if he got 15, because Ronnie was super bad at the game, he's really
Still
bad
am.
at it.
Still am.
and he was like working his ass off for kills playing as a Pathfinder, or was it Mirage?
Yeah, it was Pathfinder.
No, it was Mirage.
No, you were doing.
Oh,
It was
really?
both of them, I think. You were.
It
doing
wasn't
both.
even 15 kills. That's the worst part. It was 4 kills.
Yeah, I did.
It
a
was
bet
like a
with him.
low number. It wasn't even 15, and it
That
still
was-
took me all night to get that.
I said if you can get 4 kills by the end of that night, by the time we get off, I would buy him a fanny pack, and he worked his butt off, and he did it. He pulled it off. So I got him a fanny pack.
He did, but I think we like manipulated the rules a couple times because
No, you manipulated the rules in another way. Like you guys like made it extend because you're like, no, that one didn't count, boy, and I had to like.
I don't think so.
No,
I think
that's definitely what
I'm pretty
happened.
sure we started and we said like, you have to get 4 kills this game.
Well, no, it's because
But then-
you
yeah,
said 4
like, you
kills
know
this
what?
game.
Let's just
Yeah,
let it
that's
be
never gonna
over any
happen.
game.
But then like you guys did eventually go, oh, that one doesn't count, boy, and I'm like, what? Oh, because it's like
Because some of them
Eli
was
was.
like you
count
stealing
legit,
kills.
though.
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
doesn't
No,
count.
that was not a steal kill because you died during it and he killed you, but he only had like 10 health, and then I finished him off, and you guys were like, that doesn't count.
Well,
You're like that has to be kills. That's a kill, dude. It's a kill for me.
We got to the end and you had like 10, 15
yeah,
damage
like,
while we had
no
like
It's a
damage.
kill
damage
for me,
each.
dude.
It's like
I can't hit anything in that
not a
game.
kill.
Join
You
the
gotta at
club.
least do half the damage to the person.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. I got my
It's
fanny
not a
pack. And I
kill.
look damn good in that fanny pack.
Did you actually ever get that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he handed it to me.
Oh, I'd never seen
Yeah, I
it.
gave it. It's just like Adidas fanny pack, but
Why don't you wear it, dude? That's not very appreciative.
Because I keep forgetting.
yeah, that gave me a lot of fun, and just the vibe of it all. The game itself was also very well made. It kind of fell off when it started getting a lot of hackers and all that other stuff, and then they
weren't
fixed it,
updating it.
and now it's good again. So
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
It's coming
Yeah,
back.
it's coming back. But that's me. That's just me. Aiden.
Well, the kind of problem here is 2019 was such a good year for me as far as games because Resident Evil 2 Remake was amazing.
That was this
Astral
year?
Chain
That was last year
was
too?
amazing. Yep.
I thought that was 2018.
Resident Evil, Astral
This
Chain
started
was
this year.
amazing. Dragon Quest XI S. I only played these two towards the end of the year, but they were also both those games were amazing. Devil May Cry 5 was amazing, and Sekiro was amazing. And all of those are easy game of the year contenders for me. But I think I'm gonna have to say Devil May Cry 5.
I did steal his pick.
You did steal my pick. Fuck you. Just kidding. I'm just glad there's someone else in this call who has taste as good as mine.
Yeah, unlike Apex Legends.
Dude, I'm just joking.
Mine is for the vibe that it gave me, not for the game itself. Like, all right, Devil May Cry 5, I did play as well, and that was the shit. I loved it. So,
I just think that gameplay-wise, story-wise, as far as the sound design, the soundtrack, the visuals, all of it was just masterfully executed. I think the gameplay is some of the best. It's one of the best playing games ever made, in my opinion. And I think that the combat is virtually unrivaled by any other game, with the exception of maybe a handful of action games.
Ninja Gaiden.
Maybe Ninja Gaiden and Bayonetta series are the
similar,
only ones that even come close to this game. So I, as someone who loves action games and games that let you do combos or games that let you be an over-the-top hero, I think it's nearly impossible to be better than Devil May Cry 5. And in that way, I think Devil May Cry 5 is certainly one of my favorite games ever, and probably my favorite game of the year.
Hey, Aiden.
Yeah?
DMC is back!
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, I gotta say, though, I do remember when Aiden was just a fledgling to the Devil May Cry.
I gotta thank you.
Series.
I gotta thank Eli and Ronnie for really getting me into the series, especially Ronnie for getting me into Devil May Cry.
Yeah, because I turned it on when you were over, and you're like, get this out of here, and I was like, no, and I played it. I forced you to watch, and you were like, okay, I'm getting this.
Yeah, and that really, one of my favorite games ever is Bayonetta 2 for really opening my horizons. When I used to just only play Dude Bro Shooter Bro, Apex Bro, Fortnite, Epic Gamer, Halo. But Bayonetta 2 really opened my horizons when it came to the Wii U, obviously. And DMC, me getting into it, was an extension of that, and it's completely changed how I view video games. So DMC, thank you, both of you, for getting me into it, and thank Based Capcom for actually releasing a real Devil May Cry game.
Thank you, Base God.
I still remember that argument we had, Aiden, like back in high school, when you were like, I don't get how old Dante's better than new Dante.
Yep.
I still remember that.
Dude, I remember we showed you a video and we're like, this is why. And we showed him a video and he's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but I don't really get it. And we're like, yeah, but new Dante's not funny. He's just.
And then we showed him
we showed him
the scene from. We showed him the scene with Dante talking to the succubus.
I get it now. Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. We showed you that scene, and you're like...
And I was like, okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, and that, I think, was like at that turning point. I was like, yep, that's how...
And I bought into shit like Game Informer then, and they were like, evil Devil May Cry fans attacking innocent developer. So I was kind of like, these Devil May Cry asshole, fuck these guys. The game doesn't look that bad. It's kind of cool. And then I saw what it's supposed to be. I'm like, wow, I was wrong. I was very wrong.
Yeah, well, we're delighted to have brought you onto this train, man. It's a fun train. It's where we kill demons and devils and eat strawberry ice cream.
Eat pizza.
And hang out with hot babes.
Hang out with hot babes.
Okay,
that steal our money.
We don't hang out with hot babes, unfortunately. But
listen, when we climb into the skin, when we climb into the empty, fabulous skin that is Dante, we do hang out with the hot ladies.
I become Dante. Now.
Yeah, I am Dante.
It's a shame
Dante
they only like you for your money.
He doesn't have money.
He's
always
poor.
That's
why Dante doesn't have any money, because they take it all.
No, they don't. It's because he sucks. It's because he doesn't have much work half the time.
No, he's actually in like tens of thousands of debt to Lady.
Yeah,
is he?
That's why I was saying.
Yeah,
that's
because he never pays up, right?
He takes the money.
No, because she's always being. He owes her for the motorcycle, and she used that, and she's always like, "I'll do this for you this one time, but you'll owe me more," and he can never pay it off.
That's
and he's
his
always
fault.
like, yes. And then when he finally does get paid from a job from Morrison or whatever, he gets paid, and then she just walks right up and snatches it from him, and he's just like,
Also,
That's my favorite scene in Devil May Cry 5 is when he comes in.
them
and then-
crazy bitches.
when he comes in and then the lights get turned back on, he's like, oh, the power's back on, thank God. Finally.
Oh, and then she calls.
Yeah, and then it goes out again.
Also, the only reason Lady doesn't harass Dante more is because she probably wants his dick super bad.
facts.
Remember when
So-
people thought that V was their baby?
No, I literally have.
I saw some
never
theories
heard
out
that.
there. I'm like, you're all a bunch of cuckolds.
I personally never heard that, so I don't know.
Well, are we gonna do a couple speed rounds now?
Oh, biggest flop of 2019.
Rise of Skywalker.
I'm gonna say the media for trying to make the Joker seem like it was gonna be a terrible movie.
The media is always a.
So that's why I'm.
That doesn't
that's
count. The
my
media is
statement.
always a flop.
Big F. People are gonna get charged because movie shootings and movies can't air it.
When
And
has,
then it does. And it's
how long
perfectly
has it
fine.
been since the media has actually done anything worthwhile?
Never. They don't.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
So that doesn't count, Eli.
well, I don't have a biggest flop, so skip me.
Skipped.
Aiden, you.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Sean, you.
For movies specifically?
Anything.
Whatever you
Big
want.
flop for anything.
Oh, for anything? Well, I've already mentioned it, but Sword and Shield.
Fair enough.
That's also a good pick. Damn.
All right. What about? Okay, speed round's still going. What was your favorite experience this year? Or last year, I should say.
Okay, I'll go first. Leaving school.
And
That's
coming
it.
back. Coming
Just
back.
like- just like
Just the semester's over.
Okay.
All right, Sean, you.
I saw they played The Nightmare Before Christmas, but they played the actual music live, over it.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah.
You bourgeois bastard.
Eli, your turn.
Yeah, well. Puts on monocle.
Eli, your turn.
What was the question?
Your favorite experience this year.
This year or last year? For me, linking back up with you guys.
Linkin
Definitely.
Park?
Aw.
I said
That was
linking
last-
back,
that
getting
was
back
this
with you
last
guys.
year?
Because I was gone and away and working and doing a lot of crap. And last year
Was that 2019 or 2018?
that was
It was
2018.
2019.
It was 2019, and you know why?
Was it?
It was because of Apex.
Fuck,
Was
I
it?
take
It
it
came
back.
out, and I started inviting Eli to play Apex.
No,
because
I
he was the
take it
only
back.
other person who
Showing
wanted
up to
really.
Sean's house and then Eli walking in. That
Yeah,
was
I
the
think
best
that was
experience
like
of 2019.
when it
that blew my fucking mind.
start. Yeah, definitely.
I almost
getting back
shed
around
a
you guys
tear
and
right there,
everything.
man. I was like, I can't believe it.
It was really cool.
Ronnie's mom telling me, "Oh my God, you're back! I haven't seen you since Omaha." And I was just
And then her pulling me to the side saying, "Since when were you allowed to have black friends?"
get him out of here. She's like, get that boy out of here.
Ronnie, what was your best experience?
The Christmas party.
Oh yeah, the
That was a
Christmas
good
party was
experience.
also really good. Yeah,
Damn,
dude,
that
that
feels like a lifetime ago already.
does.
I take it all.
You know,
That-
I'm upset.
you know
I
what?
didn't get any eggnog and Bailey's, so
Well, I still have a frozen bottle of Bailey's and
mean-
a probably rotten thing of eggnog.
oh, okay, I'll pass. Big pass.
You could just have the Bailey's raw.
Yeah, I really liked the Christmas party. It wasn't that good of a Christmas party, but it was
Sorry.
like the only Christmas party I've ever been to, and the only Christmas party I'll probably ever have again.
Nope, I'll
and it
have
was
another one.
great.
I tried my
It was
hardest.
certainly a fun
I'll
party.
have one
tried
when
my
we
hardest.
move into our new house, and hopefully if I move into it before Christmas. That's my goal. That's like my plan.
Did
is
you
to
like
be
the
in.
movie at least?
So, the movie was actually funny. I gotta say,
What movie did we
was
watch?
actually funny.
What was it called?
I don't know.
Just Friends.
It was one with Ryan Reynolds.
It's called
Yeah,
Just,
Just
Friends.
Friends.
Okay.
Just
What did
Friends.
what did we do after the movie?
Play
We just kind of
Jackbox.
chilled.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we played.
Jackbox.
Yeah, we played Jackbox.
Jackbox is always fun.
I did
So
my.
I want to add an experience. The Dark Souls 2 stream that I did specifically, what was that? The day after Christmas,
Yeah,
I think?
that was
Or
fucking awesome.
It might have been Christmas Eve. That was like my favorite stream I've ever
With your
done. That was so
million
much fun.
deaths by falling.
Yeah, well, it was just me, Aiden, and this other random guy, and I was playing through the DLC, and I just died over and over, just by the dumbest things, just falling over and over.
Oh, that was also something that I really liked doing. Was that I did a stream. No one watched it, but I did a stream on I was playing through all of the Dead Space games because I never played any of them before.
It's too scary for me.
I didn't play. I didn't play any of them.
I was in and out, dude. I was watching this.
I didn't play any of them before, and after playing through all of them, it's become one of my favorite series, like, ever. Except for the third game. The third game can suck my right toe, but like Dead Space 2 is like pretty much a masterpiece in my eye. I think that game is like fantastic, and it gave me so much like RE4 vibes that I couldn't handle it, and I loved it a lot.
All right. Well,
that was the slowest speed round ever.
That was a really slow speed round.
But you know what? It was an
That was a good
it was an
question.
emotional speed round.
But yo, honestly, us hanging out and like playing video games and everything like that, everyone being together and stuff, I think that's super cool. Not to turn this into like a wholesome little crybaby whiny session, because
yeah, don't make it gay.
I'm already crying.
But the reason why I say this is because we were playing Blaze Blue, and we've been playing Uno as of last night.
Okay. I'll bring up on one of my favorite games of the year. I'll just throw this in there. No, Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. It's a tag team fighting game, and I'm the one who's into fighting games more than everyone else. But I finally got you fuckers to sit down and play. And by that, I mean everyone but Sean, because he was a coward and didn't want to play. To play some BB tag.
He didn't want his butt handed to him, all right? Give him some slack.
Well, okay. But and everyone had a good time. And Ronnie instantly knows what character he wants because he has to pick the Chuny motherfucker.
I picked the shonen character.
If you saw the last podcast, there's a picture that's put up of the character he likes. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, Naoto was put up on the screen, yeah.
Yeah. I always pick like the cool man, so I picked the boxing guy and whoever else. But Eli's character pick. We're about to expose Eli.
You freaking disgusting pedophile.
So Eli picks random. But every time he picks random, one character in particular always shows up. Bautista. And we're going to need an reference image, but Bautista is basically the most lolly of lolly characters. And his other character is a like short girl who's also... Well, she's got like huge boobs and shit.
She looks like a lolly.
If she didn't have the big boobs, she looks like she could have been a child.
She's a 5,000-year-old guardian, okay?
She's 200.
Whatever. She
doesn't look like a little girl. Like, she just looks like a short woman, but still. And Eli, in random, got Bautista, the lolly, almost every time. And then he just started picking her.
Yeah, I did it so many times through random, with my eyes closed and everything. I got her on, like, almost every single pick. So I just said, it's fated to be. She's just my main.
She's my character.
And I do genuinely like the way she plays, so... I mean, she's in, man.
Yeah, you've been exposed.
I guess.
I will say, you and Ronnie played like a 1st to 10, and it was almost even the whole time.
Yeah, until like right at the end, Ronnie pulled ahead.
Yeah. So, it was a really fun experience. And
took me a while. Screw your team. I hate your team.
I feel better having exposed
Once you close that distance, there's no winning. I'm like, if he can get... like right there and I can't backdash out of my combo after a certain time, that's it, because you're just gonna open this unlimited combo on me. So
it's true. And if Ronnie just tried blocking against Eli's team,
if Eli tried blocking,
neither of you guys know how to block.
Yeah, I know how to block now,
dude. Who blocks?
Yeah,
only cowards
now
defend themselves. Best offense makes for the best defense. That's my motto.
Anyway, now that we've exposed the Lolita problem, that's all I wanted to bring up for PB Tag. I just wanted to bring up the character selection and stuff.
That's been
you like
fun.
You freaking creep. You didn't want to bring up the part where we were all playing it, and I said, "Hey, why don't you have this character?" And you're like, "He's in the DLC pack. I don't have it." And you're like, and I was like, well, why don't you get it? And you're like, it's $25. And then like 10 minutes later, I showed you my phone. I'm like, and put in this code and buy it from me.
You wanted to play the Nazi.
I wanted to play the guy. I wanted to play the Nazi. He's not even a Nazi. We just start calling. We literally. He's a Japanese man, and we just started calling him the Nazi, and that's just all we called him the entire
main character of a game called Blitzkampf.
Also, you have to realize the Japanese
and he
during
looks
World
evil
War II
too.
took a lot after the Nazis, so it did act and have Nazi mannerisms.
That is true. That is
and
true.
plus,
He's
just
supposed to be
calling
a
him
good
the
guy,
Nazi and us just screaming the Nazi as we were
And the
playing
tank, dude.
was really
Dude, the tank, Blitz tank.
Cade and Blitz
what a
tank.
beast.
Dude, even in a Jackbox, dude, or Drawful.
what's the Nazi's actual name? I forget his real name every time. Well, we'll just show Andre.
His name's Akatsuki.
We'll just show Andre who
Yeah,
we
we'll
are.
show him. If you just type in anime Nazi boy, I'm sure it won't come up. So
No, it
It'll be
definitely
probably-
won't.
Well, not actually.
Well, I mean, you'll get a result, but it won't be
Yeah,
him.
it won't be that one. I don't want. I don't want
I'm
to
gonna
know what
Google it.
comes up. Oh God, no, no.
There's already an anime about a Nazi boy. There's an anime about a Nazi little girl.
Yeah,
Wait, no, she's not a
probably-
Nazi. She fights communists.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's not a Nazi.
She's
Yeah,
not a
Nazis
Nazi.
did
She
fight
looks like one
communists,
though.
Retard.
Oh, there's
She
definitely.
looks like one though. She's
quite
got
a few
blue hair.
anime Nazi
She's got
characters, I guess.
blue eyes and blonde
You
hair.
got the chick from Ori Emo dressed up as a Nazi.
There's probably like a manga titled like My Stepsister is a Nazi?
You know what I just completely
That's
forgot?
Learning how to
Definitely a
love
thing.
life.
Helsing. Helsing, you're in the show Helsing. You're literally fighting. They are literally fighting Nazis. So
But they're not
they're
Nazis.
Nazis. Let's be real, they're Nazis.
But no,
they
the characters,
fight
the main characters aren't
Oh, yeah.
Nazis. But there is a Nazi furry boy in Helsing, so you are
Yeah.
right.
Gay.
Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger's cat or whatever. I don't know, dude. The Major is pretty hilarious. He's just this fat blonde
Major,
dude.
the big fat
He's
boy.
just this big fat blonde guy.
Gentlemen, we are Nazis.
And we will win. Nah. What else, guys? What else? Is this it? Is this it for the podcast?
I think that's it. Don't you have a
Well,
sponsor?
Yeah, I actually do have a sponsor. And this one's legit,
Thank God.
actually. So everyone buckle
I
in.
need money.
And there's a reason behind why this one is legit. Let me make sure I get it right because I actually don't want to mess this one up. So actually bear with me here, okay?
Take your time.
All right.
man.
Do you ever dream of starting your own business? Why not turn your dreams into a reality with Squarespace? You know, Squarespace makes it easy for you to set up, to start a website for your up and coming businesses, be it an online service or even a local service. With Squarespace, you get these super easy and when I say super easy, I mean a retard could do it. Pardon me, but these templates are so easy and simple to use. They're just drag and drop. You take whatever it is that you're looking for, they've got it. And then with Squarespace's award-winning customer service, if you are having any issues and you can't somehow do it because you are stupid, then their award-winning customer service is right there 24/7 on the lines to be able to help you out. With Squarespace, actually, they are currently doing a deal with us. If you sign up for Squarespace, you will actually get a free month of service with Squarespace using our code here, actually, or squarespace.com/NEGpod, and get a free month of service with Squarespace. Please do sign up with it and use our code because this is our first actual sponsor, and it would be very helpful. Not to mention that I might have actually ruined this by using the R word in ad read.
You think?
So turn your dreams into a reality with Squarespace.
Yeah, our dreams are going to become a reality.
So there you go.
No money.
That's the ad read for this podcast, actually.
Was that a real
That was
ad read?
genuine.
I'm going to look.
The reason
I'm gonna
it
look
is
that up.
genuine
I don't
because
believe you.
I actually am creating a website for our podcast.
Oh, you just dude, screw you, dude.
I am. using Squarespace.
Yeah.
God.
I was like, actually, I can't believe it happened again. I was a little
got
bit
him.
suckered
See,
in.
you guys call me gullible, huh?
I was a
You guys
little
call
bit
me
suckered
gullible,
in,
but I got
Dude, we
Aiden
literally
twice.
don't. We only get like what, 20 views, maybe. Like, there's no way we're not gonna.
why is
Aiden,
Eli so
don't fall. Aiden, don't fall for this until we get at least 100. There's no way we're ever
like
gonna get
I said,
anything till then.
I didn't believe that we had it. I was just like, his presentation was so good.
Was
And I was
it?
like, wow.
Was it?
No,
The
it wasn't.
special
actually.
code was a pretty nice touch.
Yeah, that was a good touch.
Oh, thanks, guys. So
Saying retard though kind of ruined it. I was like,
yeah,
oh.
that's
Well, yeah, as soon
Yeah,
as I
that's
heard
why I
that,
was
I was
like,
like, no, this isn't legit.
I could tell it was fake from the start. It didn't even sound like he was reading off a script.
He's not reading off a script.
That's what I'm
it's obvious.
saying. Like,
come on,
if he
guys.
did
At
have
this
one, he
point,
would
you guys
definitely
should
be reading off a
expect these
script.
to be fake. I mean,
I
no,
did.
I know, but I'm saying
All right,
anyone
all right.
viewing, any of our 11 viewers, 8 viewers, 2 viewers, 1 viewer, myself.
If you want to just be a bummer.
But I mean, eventually,
Look, all right,
one of
someone's
these
gotta
days it will be
pretend they
real.
buy into it. Okay, if no one here is gonna play the goof, they're all straight men.
Yeah, true. I mean, so
Except Ronnie, he's gay. But
I love cock.
oh, by the way, fuck Squarespace. I hate their ads.
what if they offered? What
They're
if they
better than-
actually offered
they're better than
something,
Raid
though?
Shadow
Yeah, I'd
Legends.
rather them than Raid Shadow Legends.
Freaking sick of it
You know
seeing
what
them.
ads I'm tired
Raid
of?
Shadow
I am
Legends.
tired of YouTuber ads for like app games, and they're just like World of Tanks, Raid Shadow Legends,
Yeah, that shit sucks.
Dragon Ball, whatever. Like,
You guys think we could get a Mafia City
dude, no.
sponsorship?
Even if they offered one,
I would
wouldn't
love
accept
that.
it. Like,
Dude, no, wait. We should do that, but like make it like a live action like skit
Yes.
for it.
that I would
Like
do.
where we pretend to be like we do what they do in the ads.
Mob
Dude,
boss
that'd be sick.
dies or whatever, and you get
Yeah,
the choice
like
to
it would be like
save
me
or-
like walking around like all scared, and then like suddenly a big like pile of cash falls in front of me, and then I level up and I look like Eli, and he starts walking around all proud.
Come in and be.
He's like, I level up to level 10, and now I look like you, level 10 like mob boss, and you just start strolling around, and you buy these guys, and you set up the podcast.
No, and then I have to fall down like a pit, and they have to decide whether they're gonna save me or not.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. Well, God, that was a good one. That was solid.
What was?
This episode. Proud of everybody.
I think overall it was solid.
No
No
comment.
comment.
We can't evaluate
I'm
our
evaluating
own
it right now. You
podcast
gotta have confidence.
while we're in the podcast.
This podcast was so good. It was really, really, really
don't
good.
laugh.
I think it was our best
Don't
yet.
be lacking
Hey,
confidence.
guys, leave a comment down in the comments section if you thought this was our best work yet.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Maybe it was. I don't know.
It's not.
Eli, we upload these to Pornhub, right?
What?
We upload these to Pornhub, right?
We'll work on that.
Can we start
We'll
doing
start.
that?
Better
We'll
fucking
start.
start, dude. You better
Okay.
start.
Sick.
Everyone needs something to watch while they're on the toilet. Thanks for watching, everybody, or listening to us gabble on about bullshit. Like and subscribe.
Language.